Let's talk about my favorite soft skill, resourcefulness. Making more with what you already have. Resourcefulness is the skill of making more with less, reframing constraints as tools, building habits that create options, and practicing creative problem solving. It combines mindset, behaviors, and systems so you can move forward when time, money, or clarity feel limited. Why does it matter though? Independence and productivity. You solve more problems on your own, reduce bottlenecks, and increase productivity. Instead of waiting for perfect conditions or waiting for the person who you feel has the answers um, or for more resources. Adaptability and change. Resourceful people pivot quickly and adjust plans and still deliver when tools, priorities, or circumstances shift. Better problem solving and innovation. You generate more options, test ideas cheaply, and spot creative solutions others miss. Stronger relationships and credibility. Being the person who figures it out, builds trust, influence, and leadership potential. And may I add, that's a very competitive skill to have in your toolkit. Core mindsets. Constraints equal design prompts, not dead ends. Ask, what does this constraint make possible instead of why can't I? Adaptive over perfect. Favor good, workable solutions you can implement now over flawless ones that never launch. Growth mindset. Challenge, Challenges are practice reps, not verdicts on your ability. You can learn skills or find the people you need. Seek optionality. A few flexible tools, skills, and relationships often beat having a lot of rigid, specialized resources. Everyday behaviors. Here are some practical actions to enhance your resourcefulness daily. Harness search tools. Harness search and tools. Use Google, internal systems, organize files, emails, and AI tools to quickly gather information, examples, and templates before asking for help. Master brainstorming basics. Aim for quantity first, quality later. Build on others' ideas and stay focused on the problem you are solving. Practical critical thinking. Question assumptions, break problems into smaller pieces, compare options, and weigh trade offs before deciding. And also, improvise and adapt. Use what's available, repurpose existing materials, and adjust your plans instead of stopping when conditions aren't ideal. Be ready to make a deal. Use this quick loop whenever you're stuck. Make a deal with your constraints. Discover, what do I already have? Skills, what time do I have available? What tools are at my disposal? What relationships do I have that I can leverage? And what information is at my fingertips? 2, experiment. What is one small, low risk test I can run next? 3, analyze what worked, what didn't, and why. 4, leverage. How can I reuse this learning in the future? Is that creating a template that I can reuse, a checklist, a script, a contact, a process? Documentation also is really great so that you don't have to rethink and do the same loop again. Use this loop for different tasks and barriers that you run into. Now for some practical exercises that you can start now. Here's a few examples, and I encourage you to use one after you watch this video. Weekly asset and leak audit. List 5 assets you already have. Again, those skills, tools, people, information, systems, etc. 2, list 3 leaks or time wasters. Or I should say, for example, time wasters, unclear processes, and so on. Now that you've picked out a leak, choose one leak to shrink or eliminate this week, whether that be removing something from the process that's not working, finding a way to automate, or maybe it's just clarifying, right? Getting clear on an expectation or getting clear on the information needed. Next exercise, constraint challenge. Pick a real challenge. For example, planning an event, solving an issue, or what many of us run into, time management. Set set artificial constraints. No new budget, for example, 1 hour max you have to take care of this, or you only have these 2 tools that you're using, for example. And then the last step would be to brainstorm at least 10 ways to solve it within those limits. And then circle 1 or 2 of those to try. All right. This is my personal favorite. Search and systems drill. Take a question you'd normally ask a colleague, or maybe there's a question that you have right now that you're like, I need to go reach out to this colleague to go get an answer. Pause. Go to step 2 and use only Google, internal tools, old files and emails, and AI responsibly to find the answer. Now, step 3, document. What were the keywords that worked for you? What were helpful tools and or pages? Create a short SOP or note so it's easier for you to remember next time that you run into this issue. And then micro experiment sprint. Choose a small idea related to your work. For example, a new way to onboard volunteers, better morning routine, effective networking, etc. 2, now that you've picked a small idea related to your work, design a mini experiment, something you can try quickly with minimal time or money. 3, run it. Then write down, what did I learn? What would I change next time? Bonus tip or exercise. After this video, look up additional resources, whether that be on YouTube or on your favorite search tool. The options are endless. What are some more things that you can learn about resourcefulness and different strategies you can apply? That is it all for today's video. I hope that you guys found it helpful